Hello again, friends. Welcome back to Youtober. It is day 11. It is Friday. I'm gonna show you how to create some gore makeup looks. Not the looks, just like the basics, so that you can go off and be creative and think of things that my non-creative brain could never come up with. So, I want to give a couple disclaimers. A, I learned how to do this from having a theater degree, so what I'm used to doing is really meant for kind of far away distances. This would be great if you are putting on a haunted house as a fundraiser, which by the way is a really fun fundraiser opportunity this time of year. Or if you are just doing a Halloween party. But I think these are good enough principles and basics to help you go forward in this special effects journey. The other thing I want to mention is that I am not the most talented person on the internet to do this. Probably not the most talented person on the internet to do anything, but I'll link a couple channels down below who are way more advanced and way more skilled and talented at this than I am. It is what it is, okay? But I want to show you what I know, what I do. The products that I'm using are from Amazon, so they're readily available. Typically I use Ben Nye products because that's what I was taught on. It's what I've used in theater as a performer, as a makeup artist, and as a teacher. So it's what I know, but I'm going to be using a lot of Mayron today, which is great, and I've used plenty of it in the past as well. But Mayron is very easily found on Amazon. So I'll have it linked down below. If it has a star next to it, it means that I have an affiliate link. Support me, right? Okay, cool. I'm gonna show you these things on my hands, these skills and whatnot. So in just a second, you're gonna see a different angle. Let me go ahead and ask this now. Do you like my face? Are you not annoyed by my voice? If you answered yes to any of these questions, or another question that you asked yourself in your head, go ahead and subscribe. Why not? Posting a lot of really random content this month, you might as well just like reward it by just clicking subscribe. Subscribe. I'm gonna stop talking now. Okay, bye. Okay, so hey, that's me. What's up? Woo! I'm gonna show you quickly how to do a sponge, how to do a bruise using a stipple sponge, super cheap, and this is a bruise wheel from Kryolan. Kryolan? Yeah, Kryolans. So I have 3 color wheels. This is a bruise wheel. This is burn and injury wheel, so it's got a little bit more gory colors. And this is a monster wheel. Sorry, creature feature wheel. So this you can be a little bit more creative with. I originally got a lot of these to do kind of a zombie makeup. That's irrelevant. I'm gonna show you how to do a bruise. Okay, so step 1, I don't have anything on my skin. If you were doing this on a face, you would have some sort of foundation, whatever. It's not gonna affect the application. So go ahead and put the hand down, take the sponge. You need to decide how new or old the bruise is gonna be. If I'm gonna do an older bruise, like maybe a week old or something, I'm gonna have some purple. You can blend it out. Normally I would have those little silicone cotton things. What are those? Like those wedges, cotton wedges? Silicone. Those old school foundation sponges, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna use a cotton round. So I would do a little bit of purple and then a little bit of yellow. This yellow is not really showing up very well. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And then maybe a little bit of green, just kind of around the edges. Okay, so that would be my bruise. Now you can kind of see what I meant by far away versus up close. Up close, you can really tell that it's just a bunch of spots. But once it's further away, it looks more like the blood splatter, like, not blood splatter, like the broken capillaries. And you know, bruises are never like one uniform color. They have some patchiness to them. You can blend it out as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. And at the end of the day, like, it's Halloween. You're not gonna win an Academy Award. Or maybe you are. Maybe you're a badass like that. If you wanted to make the bruise a little bit fresher, you could use some dark blue towards the center. Maybe a little bit of red. Yeah. Again, just a light blending. Cool. So that's my janky bruise. Cool. Now we're gonna look into more prosthetics. The two options, like if you need to do a cut or a broken nose or, you know, things along that line, I have two options. The first one is liquid latex. Liquid latex is, in my opinion, a lot easier to work with. It's a lot more user-friendly. It is a lot better for like facial application because it stretches with your skin. Keep in mind that if you are, you know, a darker skin tone, most liquid latex is this shade. So you might need to add some pigment to it or just patch test to make sure that you can paint over it. Another thing that I want to mention is that this is latex. If you have a latex allergy, this will F your S up. So, not the best option. They do have a silicone option. I have not worked with that one, but it's my understanding that it's a little bit more complex. So, check out other tutorials for that. If you don't want to go the silicone route, you can do skin wax. This is also called, what is it, like nose putty, scar wax, mortician's wax, and it's a wax. It's very hard and it's very sticky. It is a little bit harder to work with. We will do it today, but I'm gonna go ahead and start off with liquid latex because it's easy. So give that a shake. Liquid latex also you can put over makeup, so that is a good option for Halloween especially. Oh, this one's a chonker. It's chonker. Liquid latex also smells like rotting fish, so keep that in mind. I like to work in thinner layers with liquid latex, just to help the drying process. So for instance, if I'm gonna do a cut, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a cut. You're gonna have a hard time getting like smooth edges with liquid latex, just because, you know, you're gonna have brush strokes and stuff like that. But you can also sponge it on. I don't have any sponges that I'm trying to destroy today, so we're just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna let that dry, however long it takes, and then we'll come right back. Okay, it is mostly dry. Now I'm gonna do a second coat. Okay, again, it's mostly dry. It's still a little tacky. Now I'm gonna start building up like the cut. Is this in focus? Not really. There we go. So I'm building up a little lip to where, you know, the slit of skin would be. Okay, so that is totally dry. It's also worth noting that it oxidized on me. So I'm gonna put, yeah, it's clean. I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer over it, just to kind of blend it in a little bit. We don't have to worry too much about it because we are gonna put some blood and guts on it. Not guts, that would be stupid. There's no need to have guts on your hand. Okay, so I'm gonna take some skeezers. Please be very careful on this part. You do have skin under there, especially if you're doing this on an actor. The latex is very movable. These are not sharp. I mean, they'd be a little scary if it was like near my eye, but if you just get kind of right under there, just get a little snip, a little snippy snip. Then you can take the blade and just cut under the latex. Now, keep in mind that most of the time when we cut ourselves, how do I rephrase this? When you have some sort of incision, abrasion, and whatnot, it doesn't cut in a straight line. So, keep that in mind, please. Now I'm gonna take a brush, and I'm gonna take the, I don't even remember what this is called, burn and injury wheel, and I'm gonna take a little bit of black and go right in there. The black is just gonna add a little bit of depth, and then we're gonna paint on top of it. Now we can take some red, go all up in there. Don't be afraid to mix it in with the black. If I had two hands available, I would lift up this little flappy flap. I know this looks disgusting, but I suppose that's the point. I was gonna say, I hope this doesn't get demonetized, but ha ha ha, I'm not monetized. Hope this doesn't affect my monetization. I should probably Google that. All right, so that's the cut. What you can do from there is, you know, depending on how like recent the quote unquote injury is, add some irritation. So this is just the pink color. If you don't have all of these like theatrical paints, you can definitely use a lipstick or a blush for this. That looks super random. I need to fix that. Okay, so that's starting to look like a thing. But let's go back to what I said about how it looks decent from far away. Right? Looks alright. But then up close, it doesn't look as realistic. You can see right there, maybe you can see how the paint is not all the way in there. Again, I do like latex because I can move my hand and it doesn't affect anything. You could do this on any age of performer and it'll move. I say age because, like, you know, if my hand had more wrinkles than it already does, then that would affect how the latex lays down, you know? Cool. And you can touch it. Another thing that I would recommend is, where did it go? Taking a little bit of powder. I recommend this after you paint everything, but before you do any liquid products like blood. Just lightly go around the edges. That is entirely too much, my bad. Yeah, okay. And that just kind of, I don't know if that was in frame or not, it mattifies it so that it looks a little bit more natural. Cool. So once you have the paint how you want it, let's do some blued. This is Quiet Foam. This is the Mayron Stage Bled. I have not used this one before, but it's bright arterial. They have different types of Stage Bled. A lot of people like Scab. This sounds so gross, but Scab is good because it's a lot more thick. This is going to be really drippy and liquidy. I don't know if you can tell in there, but it will absolutely be fine for our needs today. Personally, my philosophy on bled is that it should not be overused, because you may have a beautiful makeup, but then it can totally be, you know, ruined or cheapened or whatever. Totally just covered up by bled. So this is what I'm talking about when I say it's bright. This bled is super bright. That's not what it looks like when we cut our hands. So keep that in mind. But if you're doing a zombie makeup, this would be great. If you're doing some sort of neck wound, this would be great. Okay, just keep that in the mind. Most bleds do stain a little bit, so fair warning on that one. Another bled that I like is the Ben Nye Stage Bled. I especially like this because it is zesty mint. I have pranked many a people with a fake nosebleed with some zesty mint. Yeah, it's goopy as heck, but it's a little bit less bright than what I just used. Just a little bit. It's still pretty bright though. Cool. So that's liquid latex. Let's move on to my least favorite, nose putty, or sin wax, if you will. All right, so I'm going to spray a little bit of alcohol. This is just rubbing alcohol on my skin to kind of prep the area, because it will not stick to skin unless it is clean. No moisturizer, no nothing. So fair warning on that. I would also mention that if you need it to stay on all day, or for any amount of time really, I would recommend getting some sort of a fixative like spirit gum or whatever Mayron alternative is. So I'm just taking a butter knife and digging out a little bit of product. I don't want a whole bunch because it's just the worst. Okay, I'll need a little bit more than that. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, and it's kind of like the world's worst Play-Doh. It's sticky, but very moldable. So I'm just gonna take this little worm size amount, make sure it's relatively even, and then place it on the skin. From there, I'm gonna take the back of this knife. Oh wait, let me do this first. Normally I would like to do this with Vaseline, but I only have Aquaphor right now. I'm just gonna put a little bit of Aquaphor on top. Leave it on the side because I will probably need more, but better start out with less. And just start smoothing it to the hand. Please don't use anything sharp. This is a butter knife from IKEA, so it's definitely not like a risk to myself or others. And I can feel that I need a little bit more. Okay, so that is what we're working with right now. It's not adhered to my skin really, it's just a sticky product. These are not the best edges, I'll be honest with you. But considering that I'm gonna take this off in about 10 minutes, I don't really care. Okay, I care a little bit. I don't want the internet thinking I'm bad at this, even though I am. I got a little hair in there. Cute. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now I'm gonna use the same butter knife and just do a little indentation. Okay. Show you what that looks like. What do I want to use? Let me get these. I have this little like cuticle cutter thing that I'm going to use just to further dig out the cut, make it look less serrated. You don't need to go all the way down to the skin, but you certainly can. You can kind of dig it up a little bit. Again, be careful. You can kind of go underneath and give it more of like a pulled apart look. Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to powder, because this one is more clear. I don't feel the need to paint it. Be careful with your powder. Don't use a brush that you like. I am using a Morphe brush though, fun fact. Hashtag not spawn, although hashtag I wish. Okay, so that's what we're working with. It's got powder in there, but that don't matter because we about to paint. Oh no, my brush. Fake blood is the worst. Oh no, it's everywhere. I'm wearing black pants, it's fine. Okay, let me put away my wax. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take the red. I'm gonna skip the black this time, just to see what happens. Okay, so that's the cut right now. I do kind of want the depth, so I'm gonna take this dark color. And a little bit of black. Okay. Let's do some more irritation. Keep in mind that I didn't really do any foundation or anything on this. Ooh, this pink is making it look very X-rated. Yeah, I didn't do any foundation on this, so you may need to, but it's all fine. If there's any bumpiness, you can definitely use the paint to either highlight that or detract from that. I feel like you can get away with a little bit of texture if you just call it swelling. But also, if you're just doing this for Halloween, nobody's gonna really question you. They're gonna be like, whoa, were you okay? Oh, cool, happy Halloween, shot. So we'll do it like that for now. I'm just cleaning off my brush. This is how I do it when I'm doing makeup for real anyway. I'm gonna take a little bit of purple. I'm gonna take this light purple and if you're doing like a zombie or something, like someone who's turning, this would be a cool opportunity to add some veining. maybe some green, make it look just wrong. Everybody loves some good infections, yeah. Okay, now, those are just basic how to use putty, how to use latex. Now, keep in mind, this, if it was on my face and I was talking all night, it will not stay pretty, for lack of a better word, because not that I would consider this to be very pretty, but it's not gonna stay pristine. It's not gonna stay like this all night. So be aware of that. But from here, you can do some really cool stuff. You can put a safety pin through. Oh no, it was easier with multiple hands. But I cannot ask my husband to help. So yeah, you can do some safety pins, you could do staples. Staples would be really easy on this one, but staples with nose putty you can just like set on top, which is kind of cool. So there's that. I guess I'll add a little bit of blood to that one. These look really perfect. That's because I don't really have a backstory for this. Like, think about what character it is and what your character needs and like what happened to cause this. That'll give you a little bit more direction in terms of like what this needs to look like. Is it a zombie bite? If it is, it's probably a little bit more like, well, it wouldn't be a cut for starters, but it'd be a little bit more jagged, whatever. That didn't make much difference, but you get what I'm saying. Be aware of what the character needs. Cool? All right. Let me show you really quickly the easiest way to take off nose putty, because it's a pain in the butt, especially if you have done some, especially if you've done spirit glue underneath or spirit gum. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. So what I'm gonna do, again, this is easier with two hands, is I'm gonna take a piece of thread and just go right underneath. Oh no. Okay. And then you're free. You're gonna have some goopiness. So if you use spirit gum, you would have glue on your hand, and you can just take that off with spirit gum remover. Oh, that's a good tip. If you're using spirit gum, buy spirit gum remover. Nothing else will take it off quite as well. You can use all sorts of oils and whatever else you need, but you're gonna need spirit gum remover. Okay, so I hope this was somewhat helpful. I also know how to do old age makeup if you want to see that. I just felt like gore was a little bit more appropriate this time of year, but if you want to see that, let me know and I will do it. Cool. I hope this was helpful. I hope this doesn't get flagged on YouTube. Okay, bye guys.